So today I'm here to dispel what I think is a little myth that has been shared amongst quite a few people in the kind of pro scene of Valorant about some of the new chamber updates. And we're going to watch a bit of Lothar explaining what this kind of idea is with the new chamber update, and then I'll explain why I disagree with a take that I've seen. This isn't just Lothar. Doombros came in, the coach of Navi came in to my Twitch chat and was talking about it as well. And, I've seen it on Twitter quite a few times as well from a lot of different people. So it's not just a Lothar thing. I've seen quite a few people talk about this, and I just want to give my take on why I kind of personally disagree with what they are saying. So let's take a look at what Lothar says, and then we'll get into it.
This site, I'm just putting the TP out here, and then when I'm gonna be attacking the site, I'm able even to go up to switch, close the doors, go back to B main. And if you combine that with other players that you have in your team, right, you can essentially use the chamber as a small Phoenix ult, because you're gonna be able to just walk out wide swing with a rifle, right? So you wide swing with a rifle. No one expects you to wide swing with a rifle. You can play over a teammate's flash or smoke, whatever. You can just run in essentially like a mini KO ultimate, mini Phoenix ultimate, and just be fearless. Because
Okay, so let's talk about that idea that the new chamber rendezvous mechanic with only having one TP is somewhat like a mini Phoenix ult. So yeah, let's just quickly talk about this. So the idea, of course, is that you can put down a rendezvous somewhere safe, like in B main here. Let's say we've got all this B main control, and then the idea is, of course, that you can come in onto the site like so, and at any point, as soon as you smell danger, or as soon as you're in a fight or whatever, you can then just TP, come back out, and be safe, and you'll be safe. And so essentially, you've done like a mini Phoenix ult where you've come out, you've come and taken this space, you've been really aggressive, and then you've TP'd, and you've come back out, and you're then safe again, and your teammates can go and continue on in onto the site using that space that you have now garnered for them, right? That is kind of, I think, the general idea of this. Second idea is, of course, that you don't even necessarily need to take a fight, right? You can come out wide swing like so, and you can see where your opponents are, right? You can see where they are on the map. And so even if you just instantly, you just come out of a smoke, let's say this is smoked off or whatever, you get to this point, you just TP straight away, right? And the idea is not even to try and take a fight or get a kill, but just to, alert your teammates of where the opponents are, right? Like that, I think, is the idea behind this being a mini Phoenix ult. Problem is with that, and there's a couple problems, right? Let's start with a minor little problem here is, of course, that Phoenix or KO, or whatever you want to compare this to, has their own flashes, right? They can flash for themselves, say there was a smoke in here, right? They can flash for themselves, come through and then go off their own flash, right? Sure, you could get, your teammate to flash through for you and then come out or whatever. I would say, argue then, you're then halfway to an exec anyway, right? So this would just be a little layered part to an exec rather than like a mini Phoenix ult. But let's say that does happen, right? You can potentially offset that with some of your teammates. But then there is one tiny little problem. Just bear with me here. Just a tiny problem. In a difference between particularly Phoenix ult and somewhat a KO ult to what we're doing here, and that is, of course, that if you die, you're dead. Right? That's the beauty of a Phoenix ult, is you have nothing to lose as a Phoenix when you ult and you run in onto the site. You lose nothing, right? You at least probably gain information of where you got shot from. It even gives you a nice little time to look around once you've actually, kind of evaporated, to look around to see who did shoot you. So, you've got nothing to lose as a Phoenix when you ult. When you're chambering, you do this, you do have a lot to lose, because once you're dead, right? And that's the thing, that particularly at the highest ranks of this game, you come running out here, right? There will be people that can shoot you fast enough to you're dead, right? There will be people who are good enough to do that, right? And the crucial thing is, let's say we've wide swung like this, right? And we can see all of this. What happens if someone comes through that smoke and I don't even see them? I don't know. Because are you gonna TP if someone walks through this smoke and they see you, but your vision is this now? You can't see them at all. So would you even TP in that scenario? Probably not. In which case, you're probably dead, right? Or they're playing logs and you just keep coming and eventually you're dead, right? Or the opposite is true, right? You're looking this way and there's someone there and you're dead, right? Same thing. And so really the only way that this can work is you're definitely never going to try and take a fight in this scenario. Really, you're probably better off knife out, just coming in, jumping out of a smoke and quickly doing that, right? Just to get a snapshot vision of what is going on the site, so then your opponents can come, your teammates, sorry, can come and try and, trade or, like look at where your opponents are and, aim at them and, kill them, hopefully. That's really, I think, the only way that this is even potentially viable, is just to quickly jump out, jump back, and, potentially find where the opponents are. But to me, there's a better comparison than a Phoenix, if that's really the only way we can do that, and that is an owl drone. Because that's what an owl drone does from Sova. And the thing is with an owl drone is, if it gets shot, you don't die. The thing is, even doing this, right, and the animation as well, don't forget, you can be killed. It's not as soon as you press E, you aren't there, right? There's a small window where you can be killed in that animation as well. So there is even a chance that, doing this, like if you jump, you actually have to still be touching the ground. So, even doing that, you might die at like the highest levels of the game. Someone might be able to hit that shot, or randomly, is shooting into a smoke and hits that shot on you. You never know. And so the risk is pretty massive. The gain is honestly pretty small compared to, you can do this with Sovadar, Fadehorn, Prowler, Drone, Skydog. There's plenty of utility that can kind of do exactly the same thing that I just mentioned, and pretty much every team comp on every single map is going to run one of those agents because that ability is pretty strong. But doing it with a human and, doing with a player who can potentially die is very risky and not worth the risk, even though it is quite a strong thing to know where your opponents are, right? So to me, this comparison of it being a mini Phoenix ult, I would say it's more like a mini owl drone. If you're picking Chamber to be a mini owl drone on attack, I would say don't pick Chamber. One other thing that I really don't understand about this is, was this not possible before anyway? What was stopping you putting your second teleporter down here and just doing the same thing? I really don't know, right? I really don't know what was stopping you doing it before. Sure, the radius of the teleporters was quite small before, but, if we go back before August, they were pretty big, before Chamber got nerfed the last time. Could you not have done it then? And I don't really remember it happening. I've watched a lot of pro games in my time. Maybe it happened once or twice, but it definitely wasn't a common feature. And you would think something that's being called a mini Phoenix ult would be used every single round, right? So I just don't see it. I just really don't see it, other than it being, like a kind of secondary part of an exec or whatever, right? Like this is what the Chamber does as part of our B main exec, is, he's going to be like, after the duelist has dashed in here, he's going to quickly, take a look at some angles and come back. And then, our initiators and our other players or whatever are going to come out here. And it's like, our Jet has dashed in there and seen that there's no one close. Our Chamber's going to come around here and check some angles for us and then TP back for our Jet to then come out of the smoke to see if, where those people were from the Chamber. Like, maybe it can be slightly layered into an exec like that, but it's not a mini Phoenix ult, is my overall point. Thank you for coming to my TED Talk, and I hope you have a nice day.